This is the Kevin 239, man.
It's your boy Jay Stiff.
Marcus Vontel.
Don Mac, B.O.B. the logo.
It's your girl Lisa Marie.
Cash is
Smooth.
It's your homie Legacy, Nolimit.
Shout out to OnSight.
It's OnSight.
You're watching OnSight.
Peace and love. I'm Queen Water. Welcome to OnSight.
In your city tap in and we all the way live. When we touch down, set the streets on fire. This for the real and the bosses, you know. Artists, you popping and making some noise. You turn it on, but you wanna know. OnSight. Yeah. OnSight. Yeah. OnSight. Yeah. OnSight. Oh, OnSight.
Now we are officially in the podcast. We've been having a fantastic conversation. So for those that don't know, welcome to the OnSight podcast. I am Antrell, joined with me by Dominic Kash and Yehonathan Kenta. This is your OnSight Media Group team, man. We're all on camera today. Now, we've been on camera before all at the same time. Yeah, first episode. Today we got some good stuff because we coming home today. We talking Sanford, North Carolina music and artist. Matter of fact, I don't want to take the lead on this because this was not my idea. This was not originally Ye's idea, but this idea was started by SanTrap versus Everybody, if I'm correct. And that would be Kash. So Kash, you have to set this up and tell everybody what we're doing today. Yeah, I'm putting the pressure on you, so let's do it.
So basically, this episode right here is our end of the year wrap up. You know, this is where we sit back and we've watched and we've seen different things artists have done, you know, put in work from the top of the year until now. And, you know, we curate our list. One of the lists that we actually curated is the top albums. We've all done our due diligence, and any SanTrap artist, respectfully, that released a project, we've sat back and we've listened to them multiple times, you know what I'm saying? So, also helping with run-up streams, you know, that's what we do.
That's what it's about, absolutely.
But this right here is basically an episode on our feedback, our review of these albums, and the top 5.
Cool. All right, so, and the beautiful thing about this is not scripted. Like, we definitely had conversations about creating this list, but we are actually revealing this and placing these, like, right now, live in this podcast. So, y'all get it at the same time that we get this information. This is what's going to be fun. So how we gonna start this? Ooh, I like that feature. Like, I can see him typing in real time right now. That's dope. That's shout out to Apple, because we all got Apple phones, but we not. No shout out to Apple. All right, keep going. They marketing budget is big enough. It's big enough. We're gonna scratch that.
I'm trying to find the list. You know, we had the list of all the EPs. Okay, so this is the list. We definitely
have to tell the people the list of artists that we are reviewing. So we looked at who released music in 2023, and we got all of this from the major 3 streaming platforms, which in our opinion is Spotify, Apple Music, and then YouTube Music, right? So any artist that we are critiquing or mentioning, all of those artists have their music on one of the major 3, if not all 3. So I will go down the list and give you these artists and the projects that we reviewed. And this is in alphabetical order, I believe. No, it is not.
It's not.
I'll still read it. All right. A1 Roberta Son. And the project was 418. This one I might mess up. Ayo Leiko?
Yeah, Ayo Leiko.
Leiko, okay.
Yeah.
Autumn's Revenge. Dominic Kash, DODR, 27 After 2. Then you have Cassius, who actually dropped 2 projects. So you got the Goated project, and then Got Rich at after 23.
Got Rich at age 23.
Got Rich at age 23, excuse me. Those projects were from Cassius. Then we got Legacy Nolimit, the Born In It project. You got TFG Shawndell, Triple Threat. You got Big Up, FoFaFo. FoFaFo, I gotta say that with the
Is it
slang. 'Cause it's not FoFaFo.
FoFaFo?
FoFaFo. See,
Yeah, FoFaFo.
I don't mess it all up.
Or FoFa, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm reading FoFaFo.
I thought it was FoFaFo.
FoFaFo.
FoFaFo. Oh, it is 4 songs. It is 4 songs.
4 for 4.
So 4 for 4, that might be.
4 for 4.
Hey,
Okay.
4 for 4.
And then we have DZG Mackin and the Tapped In 10 Times Reloaded. You got Felipe, Still the World Turns.
That's fresh.
KHB Kai, Sky is the Limit. Yes, the Felipe project just made it through our
That's fresh.
Yeah, at the deadline, right at the deadline. And then we got Young Block BNE, From My Block to Yours, Gladiator Flex, The Art of Flex, and Schizo, Rhythm and Trap. Did I leave anybody off this list?
That's all. That's everybody.
That's the list. I'm reading it straight from, so y'all don't think I'm reading it straight down the list. All right. So now I guess we reviewing them. We putting them together. Who sets this off? How do we start this?
I guess just go down the list. You know what I'm saying, and I guess give the feedback. You know,
So
what we took from each album. What do we? You know what I'm saying?
I dig it.
Which is all constructive. You know.
This is all constructive. Yeah. So I'm gonna start it off by saying congratulations and shout out to. Let me see if I got my sound pad right. Congratulations to every artist. That was the wrong sound, but here we go. Congratulations to every artist that released music in 2023, because that's a big thing. Like, to actually take the time to put your music together and put it out on any streaming platform. That is extremely big. To give your art to the mass, that is, again, it takes a lot. So shout out and congratulations to all you gentlemen for doing so. So with that said, let's just go down this list and let me get back to the list.
And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, all of these link to the albums.
Yeah,
if it was the
all
first
those
time.
links.
All right.
Oh yeah, so you could actually we could play audio clips.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully y'all don't shut us down because we don't own the copyrights to. So let's put this out there. Y'all own y'all copyrights. OnSight does not own the copyright to any music that you will hear during this podcast, but we want you to go onto your favorite streaming platform and listen, stream these albums, download these albums, support these artists. You never know what you find that you might like.
Right.
All right, so let's do it.
First we got what, A1?
A1.
Yeah.
A1 Roberta's son, the 418 EP. How'd you feel about A1 project, eh?
It was super solid.
It was solid.
That's what I'm gonna say. It was so solid I couldn't keep it off. You know what I'm saying? The list, I had to recognize it, but then at the same time, it didn't set itself apart. The thing that kept him in was it was bar heavy. That's really the thing I could say about A1 Roberta's son is he paid attention to all his bars, whether he spit it freestyle or he wrote it. I gotta recognize him for being bar heavy for the whole album, the whole project.
I would say concerning A1, listening to his project, to me, he was probably more of the more commercialized radio-ready projects, like molded artists. This is, barring, taking it back to the studio and doing radio edits, cleaning up, some language and stuff like that. He is probably, out of all of these projects, one of the top 5 that is ready for the industry right now. I definitely agree with Ye. Lyricism, he was very, very solid.
Yep.
Structure of the records, it was there for me. So, again, I enjoyed the projects. Not necessarily the subject matter that I per se might listen to, but again, overall, the way that it was put together, very, very quality content. So, no complaints at all.
I would say that definitely listen to it the first time through. The Hold On song definitely caught me. I think that was like the single off of the project. I will also say, going into doing this review, I feel like I was a more harder critic than what you guys would have thought it was gonna be you.
Oh no!
It actually was me.
We could agree to disagree on that one because I critique the hell out of all of these individuals because they are from our city.
Yeah, you know, I did too, but I think like when I was looking at like
Are you harsher or harder?
I think I was harder, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's like at the same time, like when I listened to mine, like I really came like out of like I'm really listening to it to really judge it, you know what I'm saying, non-biasedly. So it's like I even held them all to, you know what I'm saying, a high standard. Like mine didn't make the top 5 from what I judged or reviewed because it's like I held them all to a standard. So when I started seeing some of y'all numbers, I was just like, dang, it was like some of the numbers on y'all's like, you know, were like, you know, were higher than
okay. No, that's
some of them were higher than when I was seeing. I'm just like, hold on. It made me go back and actually went back and listened to a couple of projects again.
What's the lowest number you gave somebody?
Like a 1.5.
All right, so the people know what we're talking about. So what the people know what we're talking about. Our rating system, we use the classic Source magazine 1 through 5 mics. So Cash said he gave the lowest rating he gave was a 1.5. No, I didn't give any halves, so I gave a 1. I know who I gave a 1 to, and I can tell why I gave that 1. But
I can't recall. I just know that, you know, overall, I think on a lot of them, and I think the one that's I know you gave that 1 to too.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I know you gave that 1 to.
You do. You do.
I didn't know. I think, and that was one that threw me off because on that end, that was actually one that me and him had higher ratings on. You know,
and that's the beauty in this. It is very much opinionated, and you know, you get different perspectives.
That one didn't make the list. You talking about, right? That didn't make the list.
It didn't.
It's not the one. The one you gave
a
1.
No.
Yeah, it didn't.
I didn't think so.
It didn't.
I didn't think so. Because the one I'm thinking about that you gave him 1. Like I said, I was super soft. Like I didn't go hard on him simply because it's the first one that we doing, and I looked at it like short sighted. You know what I'm saying? I didn't look at it like y'all did in depth. You know what I'm saying? You like broke it down.
I just
to
gave
it like the overview opinion of it.
I listened to it like when I buy this shit.
Well, yes,
and
100%.
And if 100%. I would not buy it, then that's where I was. I'm just because that's ultimately that's the goal. They want people to, you know what I'm saying. And today's time is about streaming and downloading and everything like that. But it's still you can also people can still buy your music. You know what I'm saying. Some of the formats of trying to get artists to come out of these third parties, put them in a position to sell their music. So it's like, can you actually sell your music? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm a consumer and I'm listening to the project and they want me to buy it, would I buy it? And that's where I was judging that's how I did my scale. Would I buy it?
I looked at it that way. I think I was just too soft.
And then also, could I buy it? Could I hear it on the radio? Could I hear it on the radio?
Is this ready for the industry?
And then after that, it was, would I spend my money on it? Because it's stuff I hear on the radio I wouldn't spend my money on. But if I can hear it on the radio, that means that there's somebody out here that's gonna still, you know what I'm saying? And then those were where I was at.
It's gonna get an audience.
You know.
Yeah,
I went into it with that same mindset, and I felt like I heavily critiqued it because I want to set the bar very high, so that we always shoot for excellence. And then, you know, once we're on the pursuit for excellence, if we don't reach it, but we got further than our original goal. You see what I'm saying? Because now you're looking at us and like, I expect that somebody out of our area is going to be pissed off about the information that we get. And that's legitimate, right? But at the same time, with them being pissed off, I think it also motivates them to say, now I want to work harder because I want to prove them jokers wrong.
Right.
Right. So that's where, this is where the motivation for me.
My
the
bad.
motivation comes out of it.
Before we get too far, we actually did forget a project that was supposed to be on that list. It was Hustle Hard. Ain't No Luck by King Playboy L.
Thank you. See,
That
I felt
was
like
another
I was
project.
missing something.
That was another
King
project that we
Playboy
did
L.
review.
Yes. Let's not forget King Playboy L. Hustle Hard. All right. So now we got reviews on Roberta's Son. So now we still going straight down the list. Ayo Leiko. This project for me, this was a sleeper because I had never heard his music before. And I am not a big fan of I'd say the new school rappers. And when I say that, I mean the rhyme patterns of the Baby and Stunner for Vegas, and
It's kind of offset.
Yeah, that off time and G Herbo,
Yeah.
But again, in me listening to this individual, Ayo Leiko, I felt like he had a very original sound. And he's younger than me, so for him making that type music, like the Stunner for Vegas, the Baby, it fits right into that pocket.
Yeah, he did.
And like it was some very, very catchy records. I don't have my notes in front of me, so that's my fault.
These right here, my bad. Before we got too far, I had the total mic numbers added up for each person. So
So we giving those?
We don't got if you want to, what I'm saying. But I would just give the total number.
I think we don't give them those.
Okay.
But we make them search that out. Like if you really want to know how we rated you, we'll make that available somewhere.
We'll have the note.
Yeah.
And they can have access to that in a note. That's a nice little cookie right there.
Yeah, but to get that, you gotta fully support. You gotta make sure you following us on social media so you can find out where we place this note for you to get this information. So we'll give it to you for free. But at the same time, we just we're not gonna hand it to you. We ain't gonna give you the layup. We're not gonna sit the ball right in front of the basket and just tell you to come tap this joint. No, you're gonna have to search it.
I got one too though. So if you don't get it, and we reach 100 views on the video and 10 more subscribers. So 100 views, 10 more subscribers. We'll make that easy.
There you go.
If you don't get it that way, you can get it that way. We'll drop the nugget in that end.
There you go. So it just takes a little bit of work. If y'all want it, you gotta show us that you want it.
Yeah, you want people to see you on this list.
Yep. All right. So still with Ayo Leiko. So yeah, again, I don't remember because he definitely had 2 or 3 tracks that stood out to me that I actually wrote down. But again, I don't have my notepad in front of me.
I don't know if he produces. But he sounded like to me, Ayo Leiko sounds like a young Kanye, but he wasn't so hard with the punchlines. It was artistic, but the punchlines wasn't. They wasn't like, I'm gonna say, like they was running the mill punchlines. So he painted a picture for you. Like it was
definitely.
He was very descriptive in his rhyme style, but at the same time, I was like, I was waiting for the one bar to hit me like oh, and I just kept getting close to getting it, but I just never got that bar.
Right. But I definitely think on the right playlist, he'll fall right in the line. Like he can keep his music won't let you down at the party. Like it'll keep the vibe going.
I played it 5 times.
Yeah, I probably listen to it. That if not more. For me, it was one of my more favorite projects. Like I think I'm like looking at him, his age. First project coming out, I think he
Shout
was.
Shout out to that for the first project he ever released.
Yeah, first project ever released. I think that he did come in more like lyrical than what most of these rappers is just trying to put anything together. I feel like he put a little bit of thought in. I think he has some nice bars, some nice wordplay in there. I was telling Ye the song Can't Phantom. Yeah. When I first heard it, I literally was sitting in my living room, and the only thing I wanted to do was actually get up and grab a stack of money and go put on with Triller, have you say it, and make me a video walking through the room, like going back to being broke. That's something that I can't fathom. Like, and I'm like, I ain't never had none of these artists make me feel like I want to get up and go make a TikTok video to your song.
So you had quotables.
You know,
you had a quotable.
You know, so so I think that was definitely, you know,
I went and got my notes. I can't do this whole segment without these. Too valuable information, so I had to go get these.
I'm sitting here trying to find the list again. Mark's on the list so I can pull it up in my phone because I backed out of it.
Yeah, we got your feedback. So that was everybody on Ayo Leiko. So now, matter of fact, this one is just on me and Ye because it is Dominic Kash. So you cannot rate your own project. That's crazy. That would be crazy, yeah, you were not gonna, because listen, this is how. If we allow Kash to rate his project, this is how it's gonna go. Top 5 rappers is gonna be Dominic Kash, Dylan for the people that remember that. But we would anticipate that, like it would only be right. Can't nobody rap better than you, and it's your opinion.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like
you're a very humble dude. It's supposed to be. But if we talking about Dominic Kash, this is what I enjoyed about the project. I think out of all the projects that we are discussing, the 27 After 2 was the most centered project. Like every song, the subject matter was consistent. What you talked about. Not super punchline bar heavy, but rhyme pattern great. Definitely some industry. Matter of fact, I remember the I'm Gonna Make You Say record. That heavily, I felt like that could be on a Drake album. Like the lyricism, he's actually singing on this record, ladies and gentlemen. The flow in it, like everything, like it made me feel like what's that record? I don't want to sit there. I'll get hung up trying to think of what Drake record I compared it to, but yeah, I could definitely see that being played, you know, at a R&B type vibe party. Again, I heavily enjoyed the record. Like, might even 27 After 2. If y'all don't know what this project is about, just listen to me. 27 After 2 a.m.
Hold on. We gonna see, because it's the way he got it on there. It's actually 2-7.
2-7. Oh, okay.
Because that's his squad. So it's a
so see,
he's paying.
Now we talking about the art.
Yeah.
We talking about the art. See, I didn't even pick up on that vibe. I just thought you was talking about like I'm grown after 2 a.m. I'm finna go do some grown person stuff, and
that's his squad. So it's 2-7.
It had that, but it's at the same time, you know, got to drop. You know, shout out to the gang in there, you know.
Big facts. So. And that, so kudos to that, because now just that little tidbit of information, that's an even deeper meaning behind the title. So that contributes to the art. So for me, that's big. Like, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the project. Yay.
Man, listen. First off, I think he was trying to make some panties drop. That's the only
I
thing
agree, and I think he was successful in that.
Right. So in that, when I look at an album, I look at if it had a goal in mind. You know what I'm saying? When I look at the project,
continuity of it. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
He actually had a goal in mind. He stuck to it. You didn't get 3 songs in, and then he was talking some hardcores. He stuck to the plan. So. I mean, and you could have did one continuous video straight through and chopped it up and matched it with the songs. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a nice little story, you know. So
I felt like it was. Yeah.
I say actually, when I put it together, that was the thought. You know, the first 2 songs. I'm not gonna give no ratings, but just like, you know, and just since the first 2 songs, like from Say into Do Our Thing. Do Our Thing to me is really Say Part 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and one I actually sing and the other one I rap. But it's like, to me, it's like, if I was to do a visual, those visuals will run into each other. You know what I'm saying? Because it's literally the same setting. So to me, Do Our Thing is Say Part 2. You know.
And I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna let him pass with the singing part because I was like, bro, you gonna sing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he can harmonize.
I mean, look,
he can
not gonna sit up here and gash out look like he's Usher on the track, but at the same time, the dude is not JJ Icefish neither.
Right,
like,
he actually held the notes.
Absolutely.
To where I was like, okay, I let him get away with that because you did that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had to, you know what I'm saying, I listened to that 5 times. Like if I only listened to the project 2 times, it was just so I can rate it. And it was a few projects I listened to 2 times. That one I listened to 5 times. Not to mention I had already heard, like, you know what I'm saying, the project.
Yeah, I remember when it first dropped. I think I listened to it again. Yeah.
That then one song he let me hear, you know. What's that? When I get to the things I'm going through. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Late Night Creeping.
Yeah, late night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very, very. The subject matter,
right.
It was consistent.
Yeah.
Also, I want to shout out to Jay Gutter. You know, he had the 5th song that was actually on that project. It actually was a song missing off that project, you know, but due to like deadlines and trying to get it released, you know, I had to basically exclude it. But shout out to Jay Gutter because while this was like my R&B debut, it also was his.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
With the song Roller Coaster.
Yep.
You know, which is also hard. I honestly think, you know what I'm saying, that was one of the hardest songs on the project. You know, shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Dope. Yeah, shout out to Gutter.
Man.
All right. So we keeping rolling. Now we at Cash's. And we back on Dominic Kash. So you get to set this one off. Cash's.
So what's it? I got Rich at age 23. I listened to this project a couple of times. And what I would like about Cash's project, probably out of anybody's, it was the most artistic. Like when I say like are diverse, you know, he had the 2 different type of singing voices. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like he had one that kind of spoke to like that Uzi crowd, which was, you know, kind of similar on the path of like maybe a Kai, where I think those guys should maybe link up and drop something. I think that'd be dope.
Side move, free game. All right, keep going.
Then he had like like this other like melodic sound. Also, he had like the rapping in there as well. I think it was, you know, a very, very catchy project. You know, it was a few songs that like just got stuck in my head after like listening to it. You know, I just think it was a dope project. You know,
Right.
So shout out to him. You know, also shout out to him for, you know, making, you know, 2.
Absolutely, putting out that work, 2 projects in 1 year.
You know, we didn't do the review on both of them. You know what I'm saying?
We technically did.
I listened to both of them.
Yeah, mistakenly. So I'll go ahead and jump in here, right? Because I actually mistakenly rated the GOATed album and sent my reviews before I learned that I was rating the wrong project. So I'll just speak about the GOATed album real quick. I think, or from my opinion, Cassius might be one of the top 3 rappers on this list. I think that is a rapping little dude. Not to be disrespectful to you, Cassius, but dude can go. Dude can really, really go. One of the things that was kind of a 2-sided coin for me was his structure. I think on some records, the lack of having a set structure played to his favor and allowed his lyricism to really shine. Right? And then on some of those tracks, the lack of structure kind of diminished the quality of the song because I can't really pick out where is the line that I'm supposed to be stuck with. Where's that repetitive, you know what I'm saying, hook? But if it doesn't have a clear defined hook, you just jump on the track and rap for 4 minutes, which again, it ain't too many cats that can jump on a track and straight rap for 4 to 5 minutes.
Straight.
Watch out,
So
watch out,
rapping
watch out,
dude.
watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
So again, yeah, like I thoroughly enjoyed this project.
I was at work, literally. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. No, that was actually a hard song though. That was, you know what I'm saying? I need some like the melody and everything like he was saying. That was a hard song. Like I was like, dang, man. So, to me, it's just some of the visuals, man. I think some of these guys, you know what I'm saying, y'all need to get with a GMAT Films, you know what I'm saying? And really get some of y'all visuals down packed.
I don't disagree with that.
Like,
not just because we talking about my specific media company. And if I'm not mistaken, Cassius has a videographer, like, under his belt. A lot of his work comes from the same person. What I would say to that is push yourself. Look to be more creative. Like just,
and Cassius has been created in some of his videos. Not not necessarily all of them, but he has been one that has been, creative. But I think sometimes a person could hear a song and they could just do that. They could just hear it, right? But sometimes if you come back and actually put like a certain visual to it and the visual adds to the story, now you're able to grab more people and more people gravitate to it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're feeding to their attention, or you know what I'm saying? So I think that, a lot of these guys, visuals with the art, you know what I'm saying? The music is there, but it's just, and it's consistency.
Yeah, definitely you have to have a level of consistency behind it. Absolutely.
The first time I listened to Goated, because that was the first one I listened to, I just thought it was like just his typical project. I mean, he do set a bar, you know what I'm saying? But I just was like, this is his typical project. But then I went back and I listened to it again, and it was like, okay, he doing some different stuff in this project. And then when I finally listened to I Got Rich at 23, when I listened to that one, I was like, okay, so he taking his time and he's picking and choosing. When you said it seemed like some of the songs he just was rapping his ass off, I felt like he picked and chose when he was gonna do a song. You see what I'm saying? I feel like, because artists will be like, I got 100 songs. And I'll be like, why you got 100 songs for? I feel like he put the project together, and maybe if he had, somebody else putting it together with him, it would have been different. But his perspective was, all right, I'm going to put this song on there, this song, this song, this song. It might not have been, but that's how I heard it. You know what I'm saying? So, because it was like some mixtape stuff in there, and then he had some songs, But
I think with way that just the I Got Rich at 23, age 23 was kind of put together, and like you said, how it was kind of thrown together. I think that it actually speaks to people that are in that age bracket, probably more different so than it would speak to us. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can evaluate and say like, it's good music and give our opinion. I think somebody that's in that age range and moving around some of the type stuff is gonna definitely appeal to them. Some of the topics, you know what I'm saying, like they're gonna feel, and it's gonna, resonate with them. Yeah. Different, So.
Nah, I don't disagree with none of those statements. I think it's all very valuable information so far. So again, shout out to all you artists. All right, where we at on the list? I think we at Legacy. So just cause I'm gonna start this one because I'm his video guy. So for Legacy, I got my notes. Let me find it.
Born in it.
Born in it. Where do I got Legacy written down? See, I'm slowing down the front. Oh, he's right there. So for Legacy, I think he has the most unique voice out of any artist that we are talking about. His sound, and I'm not gonna give we've heard a lot of comparisons of people that think Legacy, Nolimit, is a meshed cross sound between like a Ja Rule and a DMX, and I've heard all types of stuff, right?
I would say Rule, if
So
anybody.
I'm just gonna summarize it as I don't think anybody has the uniqueness in their voice that Legacy has. For me, I think Legacy is a very polished trap rapper. But at this stage in his career, because he is probably one of the more seasoned artists, like Legacy been putting out music for at least 10 years at this point.
I mean longer.
It may be longer.
Yeah.
Could be. Maybe longer. So I definitely think he's one of the more seasoned artists. And I haven't heard a great deal of range. I think that's the easiest way to say it. I think his subject matter is always the trap. What we do in the trap.
Yep.
And again, this is not a knock at this individual and not trying to say whether there is any validity to what he is or is not doing, right? I'm not speculating anything by my statements, but I think when that is like the main focus point of our content, then people will always have that doubt in the back of their mind. So without sometimes switching it up, then they just gonna think I'm always out here. I'm a D-boy. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm whatever. Right. But I think that works for him. So I'm just like at this point, what comes next? Like on this project, one of the songs that I talk about, I think my favorite project is gonna be from the Born In It is gonna be Women, the women's record. Women's. Let me say this correctly. Women's. Because that record is not the basic trap record. It's subject matter talking about females. It's not super degrading talking about females. It ain't always bitch, hoe, this, that. Right? He's actually, and it's a very catchy. I like my women thick. The whoever produced the track, like I just think it's a great record overall. And yeah, I did shoot that video, and I think it's one of the better ones.
I think he did that for the radio too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's radio ready. It's radio appeal. And then out of all of these projects, Legacy Nolimit had the radio edits on the album, so it can be played on the radio. So we gotta talk about that's the craftsmanship, paying attention to what I'm putting out and who can actually who I can push this to.
That's a part of understanding the business.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, about doing music, because you get artists that just put it together, and when they go to the studio, they don't think while they're there to make the clean versions. You know what I'm saying? And get everything they need back from the engineer so they actually get their DJ bundles and pass it off to the radio stations. And most solidified radio stations won't take it unless you're giving them that, the split track, the clean track, just the vocals, just the instrumental. You know what I'm saying? Like you have everything packaged up like that. So yeah, definitely shout out to Legacy. On that.
Absolutely. All right, Dave, what you got?
Man, this project took a long time to drop.
Now,
cause
I will definitely say this, and not to cut you off, but I definitely say Legacy promotes a lot.
Right.
A lot. And sometimes we give a bunch of dates.
Yeah.
And we know the industry does this as well. They'll say it's coming out, it's dropping this date. That day comes, it's dropping this date. That day comes, it's dropping this date.
Yeah.
And before you know it, 6 months don't pass.
I want to say he had 2 hard pushbacks. I'm not sure, but I want to say I seen where it was 2 hard pushbacks. So if you listen to his music like as it's coming through, and I mean social media wise, and if you got him on your stream and you hear him, you get to live with the music. You know what I'm saying? So I got to live with some of that music, and it's industry ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I honestly say that. I agree with that. It's industry ready.
Club ready.
Right. It's club ready. The only thing it's the only dimension that I was wanting more of, because he had some bars, but
I agree.
I feel like he could have had more bars. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he could have had more. It was You know what
Do
I'm
you
saying?
think? Do you feel like, not to cut you off again? Do you feel like if the nucleus of the records wasn't based around the thought of the trap, that you would have gotten different subject matter or more bars?
Nah, cause I'm be honest with you, we live in the we done lived in the last 10 years. We've lived in a trap heavy rap atmosphere.
That's true.
So like I didn't utilize that when I was listening to it. I really wanted to see where he would break away into different I'm gonna say like ways to deliver the subject matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like it wasn't like, so that's what I mean outside of with the bars is like it ran together a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Even though the songs was different and you know like he brought them to you different, it's just like after certain songs, some of the songs ran together. You know what I mean? Like so, but I couldn't leave it off because it was a polished project.
Definitely.
It was one of the ones that I enjoyed listening to until I just got to the part where I was like, this song and that song, is that the same song?
I definitely know. Know. In my opinion, this is probably the album that I critique the heaviest because I heard so many of the records because I'm his videographer, right?
Right.
But then in listening to it as a complete project, I feel like the same way that you do, it's total. Like it made a lot of sense. It had the continuity like Cash's project had.
Yeah,
like,
it didn't miss.
Yeah, just for me, you know, it's a very, very trap populated, and that's not necessarily the subject matter that I gravitate towards to every day. So that's why it wouldn't be in heavy rotation on my, you know what I'm saying, as I'm riding, driving, and vibing out.
Right.
I can see how a lot of people have gravitated, and I think he hit 500,000 streams on this. Like, I remember doing that video.
Yeah.
So again, at least 500,000 people played it or streamed it. However, like you said, he ain't missing. So
I want to definitively, I want to say that, like, out of all what I said, he didn't miss. Like, he good at shooting them free throws. Bottom line.
It definitely didn't miss me listening to it. I've heard different music from Legacy throughout the years and whatnot. And I would say this probably has some like my favorite songs from Legacy. You know what I'm saying? I actually was on the scene with a couple of videos that you shot. And one of the songs that you know resonated with me, which I definitely like from off the project, was like the 1K a day. I felt like, you know, and some of the, you know what I'm saying, retired trap. And me, you feel me? I feel like that was speaking to my inner trap. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like I said, when I was doing the review for some of these songs, like I was going out one night and I actually had his project in, and I had it playing in the car. Just honest God, I had it playing in the car, and I'm listening to it, I'm vibing to it, but I'm not all the way into it like that. And a little vibe I was, you know, kicking it with, you know. I heard people that hopped in the car and they were just like, yo, like, what you listening to? Like, yo, this is lit. So by them turning it up and was like hyped to it, I was like, yo, this is the element for this. So, you know, I went back to the track one and then played it through. And I'm talking about like, yo, that was the hottest shit I listened to all night. Like, woke up the next morning, got back in the car, and this shit went right to it went right to Legacy. Yeah, so you know, to that, it's just like I definitely think, you know, it's industry ready, was well put together. One of the things I will speak to that I like when I think of trap music, and like you said, we've been real trap heavy for the past, you know, whatever amount of years. And I think a lot of the younger dudes in trap, I think the element that they added to trap music was it's blended with drill. So it's like we can't get through a modern day trap song by the younger dudes without a black person dying before the song's over. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yo, that's sad. But I feel like listening to Legacy's project, You know what I'm saying? I got just the trap without the death. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was like, yeah, I listen to this because this right here speaks to the hustle. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you want to grind, make you want to really go in. You know what I'm saying? And get some paper, while the new trap music, it had you ready to slide on your ops. You know what I'm saying? And this project was definitely different from that.
That's a great perspective.
One of the things that I would say to Lazy, I know that he worked on this project and had to put this project together for, the industry, for like, different, deals and different things he was working on. But I do think in today's day and time, out of all the projects that we did listen to, the majority of them were, 20-minute long projects? 4 or 5 songs?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think Legacies was the longest project out of all of them. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like his almost an hour.
His was the longest. Even compared to, I think, Philip, who had a whole full project. You know what I'm saying?
I think Phil's project came in at right around 30-something minutes, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
Legacy's project is 1 hour, 6 minutes.
Yeah, so I think in today's day and time, with the way attention span is, I think that I've seen development and growth in Cashes over the past year due to, opportunities that Legacy presented to him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think that, you can always learn something new, no matter, old or young. And I think that Cassius has learned some things from Legacy over the past year. But I think whether he sees it or not, one of the things I think Legacy could take from Cassius is the way Cassius does his drops. Cassius have the 3-song EP. Yep. You know what I'm saying? The 5-song EP, and it's like he's dropping, but it's just like a person will go listen to that 3 songs or those 5 songs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Way more times than they might go listen to this whole entire full, you know what I'm saying, EP, because we're in like a short attention span time. So it's like you got to think about that overall and who your target demographic is.
Right.
So
that's right.
Very true. Very true. Great perspective. I didn't even see that one, so thank you. TFG Shawndell. So, Cad, you got the floor, and you were mentioning how We Up Now could be the project that really takes off for Shawndell, but the overall nucleus of this project is gangsta music.
Yeah, it's like it make me feel like I'm listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got a melody to it. Even though he ain't singing, it's still like a harmony to it. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like all the way through, it's that bop. I got to bop the whole damn, I'll put it in. Like he was talking about the 1K a day. Mm-hmm. Like I could just listen to the whole joint and it was he'll say some thuggish type stuff and I'll be like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And then he'll give you some pain. He gave you some pain on the project. Yep. Like
218. I don't want to misquote it, but the first record. 2819, whatever it was.
Yeah, he was just realistic.
2819.
2819.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was just realistic on them.
I felt like on that record he gave me insight into his life a little bit. Like this is a situation that happened that I want to release my pain. So now I'm using this microphone as my therapy. So to me, the best music comes from real life situations, right? I don't enjoy gimmick records, even though they sometimes work. It only works for the energy of that time period. But to make timeless classic music, you're gonna give me a little bit of you. I'm gonna give you me. I'm gonna tell you this story. I'm gonna ink my pain through this microphone, and then that energy is encapped within the bars, within the music, and that's what makes it timeless. So I will say that this was the project that I least favorited because I am not a fan of the gangsta music. But I will say it was definitely consistent in that manner. right?
Yeah.
It was so consistent. Like, I'm actually listening to this project and my wife is in the room. And one of these records is like a Tamia sample. So Into You.
Yeah.
She walked in and was like, I don't know whether I'm supposed to be turned on or whether I need to run. Like, he gonna scare me out of my panties. Like, it's so like hard. Like, is you gonna assault the chick or is you gonna make love to her? But I don't think when you that gangster, we not making love. We fucking.
I think it's a gangster. I think it's a gangster love. You know what I'm saying?
And so maybe I don't
Yeah.
because again I was an R&B cat, so maybe I can't see that. So. Like it probably does. It probably is some females that like that type shit.
Yeah, thugs need love too.
Thugs,
you know what I'm saying?
absolutely. I'm not denying that at all.
Yeah, we
I
know
agree
that.
with you.
Majority of the females coming up, they always like the bad boys. So like.
But did they want to be scared? Did you go? I'm gonna beat you up if you don't give me them panties. Like, is that what they was doing?
I don't think it sound like that.
He was going hard, bro. This might have to be the first one we played 30 seconds of that track, but he is going like, baby, you got a man. He a punk. I'm finna like. We just finna give you 30 seconds of this joint, cause he going hard on her, bro.
Shout out King Lou.
Yeah, shout out King Lou. You need your music mixed. Go holler at the guy King Lou. He gonna get you sounding right. So now let us just 30 seconds of this Shawndell. So Into You. Here we go.
I can do better, baby, honestly. But I can't even count like we don't vibe. You don't look good on the side of me. You be lying if you say you don't love this gangsta shit inside of me. I can switch it up. Something on your mind, probably just need a nut. Take control, do whatever you want, girl. I can keep it up. Lay down my guard. Always watch my back, cause I'ma be out front. Don't need to run. I'ma get it done. Tell me your needs and wants. Really risk it all for you. Your ass better not cross the line. The day you think I ever let you leave, watch your fucking mind. One of a kind.
See right there. See, he a stalker. That's a stalker bar. We gotta switch that up.
Apply pressure, I had to have you. Stuff forever like this tattoo. You got half, then I'ma match you. No facade, this shit is special. Meant to you, you feeling special. If I was him, I would've blessed you. Before we start, let me caress you. Love, I won't finesse you.
Yeah, Cash, what's your opinion? We finna give you the camera and the mic.
Yeah, I think it speaks to, like, you know what I'm saying, like the gangster love. It's almost the Fabulous to me Into You is if that was to meet 50 Cent 21 Questions.
Fabulous was a little more.
That's why I'm saying if that was to meet 50 Cent 21 Questions, you know what I'm saying.
Okay, I give you that one.
It's a blend because 50 Cent is asking, like, if I'm going through this is what it is to be with me. This is what it comes with, and if I go through this, you know what I'm saying, I feel like it had like that kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying, like it's almost like just keep it solid. You know what I'm saying, like he even said in the beginning, in the first 10 seconds. He said she liked this gangster shit.
Yeah, he did. So
it's
true indeed.
It's right in the beginning of the song. You know what I'm saying?
I just think it's his delivery. I think that's
it was rough.
Cause
it's hardcore.
Right.
It's hardcore rap. Yeah.
That's why when you said that, I was like, but it's like it's Tupac-ish, because you know what I'm saying. Tupac had a few songs like "fucking you in the hallway," you about to get it at it. You know what I'm saying? And Pac always had that hard delivery. You know what I'm saying? So I think he was trying to bring that thug shit back, that thug passion. Yeah, that was some thug passion.
That's
he was trying
perspective.
He was trying to.
Hey, Shawndell, I already know you're gonna be one of the artists to actually watch this. Respect to you, because you actually be supporting. But Ye giving you a lot of, you know what I'm saying, little name drops and jewels that you could use for the future. You feel me? Thug passion, Thugs and Harmony, you know what I'm saying? Get your trademarks and your copyright right, and you know what I'm saying, use them somewhere.
Just don't be Rod Wave out here. We got a hip hop debate on the Rod Wave. We gonna save that one. We gonna table that one. We gonna come back to Rod Wave.
I ain't gonna speak on Rod Wave. I was gonna still speak on Shawndell, right? I was gonna say Shawndell is a blend of gangster music, trap music, and pain music.
Yeah.
He's a blend of all of them. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like every song gives you that. It's not like he's only one on this song. He's that on every song. You know what I'm saying? And every song, even when it's talking about him and his man sliding, there's some pain in there. You feel me? In every one, you know what I'm saying? There's also some trap, you know what I'm saying, and some gangster. You know, it's the different element. While I wouldn't label his project necessarily a drill project. I still would classify it as trap. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's the difference between of age between like his and Legacy. While Legacy gave me the trap with no death. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got
think
that
this is a great example.
I got that in Shawndell.
You got a lot of it, and that's probably what makes me not favorite as much. Yeah.
That's what will push.
At the same time, you had like one of Shawndell records was a standout for you, Cash. Or you want to talk about that?
Definitely. For me, just speaking on the track "We Up Now," that's definitely that is my single of the year pick. And I think like
shout out to Shawndell for the "We Up Now" being Cash's single of the year.
I think like the song has so much potential. I watched it do numbers on the SanTrap. First, everybody, welcome to the trap. Mixtape. That was the #1 stream song off of that tape. And even just like, continued and like, into pushing it, I think it's definitely a song. I played it for a couple people I know that's, in the industry that's not necessarily in Carolina. And literally when they heard it, it's like, yo, he had a video to it. Like, they were also intrigued because I think it has major potential. So that is my song
a good question. Not to cut you off, Cash, but I do know it was some talk about the visual for that record. So I'm gonna look directly into this camera and say, Shawndell, there was some talk about the visual for that record, and it doesn't have to be with GHME Films, even though you did contact me. But there was some talk about a visual for that record. Make it happen. It's your music. You can make the music timeless. It does not have to die. The energy you put behind it is what ultimately determines how far it goes. I'm gonna leave it at right there.
I got some dope ideas for a visual too. You know what I'm saying? We could politic about it. Just holler at me.
I'm gonna be bold and say, maybe be the first person to try to come to OnSight collectively and get that out. Cause I ain't seen nobody do that yet. Like somebody, because y'all got big ideas, and we all got good ideas. You can choose who's gonna be your director of the photography. But if you put us all on one of your projects, you're gonna pay some money, but you probably gonna get exactly what you see in your head for that visual.
It is definitely a machine over here.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a machine over here. Nobody has totally went through, but we did have one artist come through. And we are not talking about him today because he did not release a full project in 2023, and that is Jay Clean. So Jay Clean did come through the OnSight portal. Yeah. He got the music video, he got the performance, he got the interview. Yeah. He just didn't get any placement on any of the playlists from Cash, but that's still something that can happen. Jay Clean is still putting out music. We're not going to spend too much time on that. But again, yes, it is definitely a machine over here. Full-fledged record label, content creation, marketing, everying. So, yeah, we ain't going to spend a lot of time because people know that. We're going to keep it going. They know that. They know that. But yeah, big up to Shawndell on the Triple Threat project.
Now what you saying, big up, guess who's next?
Big up. Big up. FoFaFo.
FoFaFo.
I enjoyed this project, so I think I'll start. I enjoyed this project. One of the things for me is a gift and a curse. I got a bunch of cliffhangers. Like, hold on, I gotta specifically find my notes for the Big Up project. The song Treason was the standout song on the Big Up FoFaFo project for me. But it was a cliffhanger because it was like, I felt like he went in the studio, he freestyled his joint, he really captured the energy of that session, and he lost his bars at the end and just, all right, I'm done. And then the track plays for another minute and a half, 2 minutes.
That was something that about the project that when I listened to that song, it was just like, damn, you want me to rap on it too?
like
you want me to rap on
I
it
think
too?
the energy was very, very, very high.
And see, and it's like you got to know how to like play that stuff, because that could have been something that could have been done like that strategically for an open verse challenge. You know what I'm saying? But you know that necessarily wasn't done, and like me, you know, hearing that, and it just that I didn't feel that. I just felt like it played out, you know, too long. I'm listening to the project, you know, I got my headphones in, and I'm just like, the song's still playing.
Yeah.
Go to the next track. Yeah, that was something that, you know, if I had to, that deducted points for me on this project.
Absolutely.
That deducted points for me on this project.
I think from my score that definitely hurt him.
One of the things that I would say, I don't feel like, you know, any of the songs necessarily went together. You know what I'm saying? And that might feed to the name, you know what I'm saying, 444, because he gave you 4 different vibes. That I feel like each of these vibes was an element to show you that I could make the female club song that's lit, the females are going to want to turn up to, that played on the radio. The Treason song, you know, I could speak to this element that if you're really from there, like I've played this song, I played his whole project to different people, and street dudes necessarily didn't feel the, you know, the female song, but they actually felt like the Treason. They liked it, that song, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them spoke to that being the best song off the project, just like Antrell. I feel like the T-shirt song, that was like, you know, subliminal, white T-shirt, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like that speak to like the trap element, also something that could kick and go to the radio. And then what's the last one? What? WTF?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's the one where I think he was saying, because it was a Young Jeezy song that just came out, and him and Young Jeezy's songs were very similar. And Big Up song came out first, where it was saying, damn, I can't even think of what the fuck it was saying now. I'm gonna just play it real quick. Oh, this ain't for the weak. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, this talking about the different things that he going through and like his grind and to elevate up is like staying motivated, staying positive, staying consistent. You know, I feel like he spoke to that and saying like, if you really want to do this, it's just not for the weak. And I feel like he just spoke to different elements, and I feel like all of those songs in their own right could stand on their own. I don't think necessarily like, you know, they were to be packaged in together. You know, I think they all, to me, or from like should have been from different projects, but it's like, let me show you that I can do this, and I think that's what this project speaks to. You know, it was a project like, you know, A1's and also like Legacies. It was songs that I feel like it was kind of tailored and industry ready. You know, and like I said, my only really con or a negative reaction to that project was like the Treason song.
The Treason being unfinished.
It, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was unfinished.
I would say that as well. Because
you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's supposed to be.
If we simply just cut after he stops rapping, if we fade that beat out, and because like songs today are literally 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and he gave us at least 90 seconds, so it's really just take 10 seconds and let the track fade. It's a different feel.
Yeah, definitely. You know,
I listened to this 3 times.
Okay,
that's why, cause like you already know when you listening to music, if anything caught your attention, you might go do something else. You know what I'm saying? So like I didn't exactly remember the name of the song, but I knew it was a song. I'm like, I'm on the iPad now. I'm doing something on, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not really listening for the next track. So then when I got back to listening to the music, because I would go, you doing multitasking, you know what I'm saying? So when I went back to listening to the music, like giving it my full attention, I had already lost, you know what I'm saying, that moment when I was vibing to it. And but like he was saying, speaking to it, all the songs doing different things, it sounded like a demo to me.
Yeah.
Like if you ever made a demo, you know y'all guys have made demos. You wanted to show I can do
The
this,
versatility,
this, and this. And the only thing that spoke to being able to listen to it the 3 times was, even though it felt like he put them together and they belong together, they still gave you him. Like he didn't change up. He didn't change who he was from each track. You know what I'm saying? So
he had the same overall swag.
Right. It was still him, so you could still stick with it, you know what I'm saying, even though it swapped out from this to that. But I mean,
it had a slight melodic vibe to some of the tracks, you know.
Yeah.
I think that was dope, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's just an element in rap now. I think most, new rappers are just melodic. You know what I'm saying? I have that element.
He's I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's the one rapper besides Cassius that I feel like kind of gets very close to alternative emo a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like he tap dances on that edge where, you know what I'm saying, his hip hop sounds like the hip hop version of emo a little bit.
Yeah, I think he has an unorthodox rap style. To where, I've done work with Big Up in the past, and when I sat back and like I for example the Hello 23, Shawndell, Carell Best, and Big Up all on that song. I think for me first listening to it, from the average person from the trap listening to it, I think they're gonna say that Shawndell probably had, the best verse. But when you really sit back and actually listen to what Big Up is saying, is because he has a different rap style delivery. And some of the stuff that's like, hold on, bro, actually saying some shit now. You know what I'm saying? I think like you would just miss it if it's not, because it comes unorthodox a little. So I do see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So shout out to Big Up on the FoFaFo project. So that brings us to Deezy G Mackin. Who wants to take the lead on this one?
Man, I'm gonna go ahead and knock it out.
All right, let's go.
Right here. Okay, so when I heard the first track, that just made me listen to the rest of the album. That's like what they tell you in the industry. If you can get my first 5 seconds,
I think we should play this one just because of what the first track is, because like it's all right. So I'm not to cut Ye off, but while Cash is setting this up, it's certain records that, from my opinion, people should not sample. People should not try to remake. And then, sometimes like you hit. And I think this one is like Kobe Bryant. Either you love him or you hate him.
Yep.
For me, this was one of those tracks. Like, I think the original song is so iconic and so classic that maybe it should have been untouched, but I still respect what he did on the record. And then for him to add, an R&B feature on top of that, like, definitely a catchy vibe. So I ain't even gonna spit the name Cash. You got it loaded up. We can go ahead and, but yeah, definitely a catchy vibe. So he said it's only right.
Yeah.
He said it's only right that he does this. Shout out to Deezy G Mac. All right, cut it. They get the vibe now. I just wanted the people to know that, because it ain't too many people that actually have went and sampled an Aaliyah record. We know Drake did it, but to my knowledge, has anybody ever touched the 1 in a Million record? He would be the first that I know of. We should really, if y'all out there know of anybody who has sampled or done a cover to Aaliyah's 1 in a Million, we need to know that. Put that in the comment section of this video. Yep. But again, shout out to Deezy. So for me, oh no, I cut you off. Yeah, finish.
Yeah. That song made me listen to the rest. I mean, like, so the rest of it, he had some songs. He got peaks and valleys. That's what, like, between him and Shawndell and Cash's. Like, I listen to their projects different than I listen to some of the other artists' projects. Mm-hmm. His songs had, like, so many peaks and valleys, but because it had, like, some pain and it had some feeling in there. But this time it felt like he was able to channel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had total control of what he was giving you, and he done grew into his delivery.
That part.
I felt like his delivery was something that he needed to grow into, so that when you hear him, he owned it. He owned his delivery on the whole project. So
I heard growth.
I heard growth as well.
Mm-hmm.
I heard growth. I heard the maturity.
I heard maturity.
The pain. Again, authenticity. Like, I'm getting real stories, authentic stories, stuff that may have actually happened throughout his life. I definitely think his sound is established. Like, to me, there is nobody else. I have heard no one else in the game that raps like Deezy G Mackin. So his cadence is his. That's what I mean by his sound is established. You know, the authenticity in the music. For me, the Boondocks record was the standout.
That was the standout.
Like, that was the standout. That joint is a vibe. I think he even used that in one of his promotions for the album. Like, that Boondocks record goes hard.
If you do so with that on TikTok,
literally.
Before you even go, and that's, I think, out of all of the people that we are mentioning, nobody has the marketing scheme that Deezy has. Like, it's probably got 30 videos in the cut right now that he's just strategically dropping. Yeah. Like, because I remember this, he was doing this in 2020 when we went on the infamous COVID run, right? Like, I really just recently, earlier this year, I know it was videos from 2021 that he just put out. So, and this is all strategic because it makes you, I'm gonna stay consistent.
Yep.
And then not only that, like, what he's doing outside of the music, which is we could have a whole separate podcast for itself. On his activism and, you know what I'm saying, community service, what he's actually doing with the sports organization. So, like, I heard maturity, growth. I see the marketing schemes. Like, dude is a very, very calculated and smart individual. We cannot overlook that. So, great, awesome project from Deezy. That's my opinion. Cash, is on you.
I think, listening to the Reloaded. I'll start with, like, the Boondocks track. I think that was just literally like the 2023 version of, like, Talk My Shit. You know what I'm saying? And what I like about the project is, when I thought the project was coming, I'm thinking it was just gonna be these old tracks with a couple of, extra tracks to it, but he really reloaded and changed all the tracks.
Every song was brand new.
And it's like, it went back and it was like, literally, it's the same vibe. I think all the songs that are on it, they speak to the same thing, but this is where you see the maturity.
Right.
One of the things that I seen that he's started doing in music is he started choosing a more hip-hop vibe type beats, you know what I'm saying? Which I think those hip hop element beats add to the maturity in his sound. I'm not necessarily gonna say I see growth in like his like rap delivery. I think he still has the same rap delivery from the first project to me. I just think he's matured in some of the topics, and like I said, with the beat choice, I think it really gives you an actual hip hop vibe feel. And because it has that, you know, people hear like the music they've already heard, it already kind of speaks to you. Right. So it already has a likability because of that strategic moving. But, you know, I think, you know, the project overall was definitely dope. I think I listened to it probably about 3 or 4 times. Yeah. You know, when I listen to it again, I definitely would listen to it again. I like the song Sorry Mama. Yeah. You know, I think that's, like you said, speaking to, like, you know, authentic, you know what I'm saying, real life situations and stuff like that. You know, so definitely shout out on him. You know, keep up the grind, keep up the work, you know what I'm saying?
So now we have made it to Felipe, and Still the World Turns. So I'll start this one off really quick. I think this is going to be arguably one of the favorited projects. Like, I feel like Deezy, Felipe are going to be the heavyweights out of all these projects that we discussed. And I won't exclude Legacy from that conversation either. These are the most polished and the most industry ready projects. For me, Philip is gonna be the most lyrical project. I just got to a brain fart right there, but
it wasn't the most lyrical for me. It was lyrical though.
No.
But it
okay, so yeah, you go ahead and chime in while I get to my notes on his project.
Not saying the project wasn't lyrical. I'm just talking about overall rating of all the projects.
No, this is a debate.
Project that was, you know, more lyrical than all of them put together. You know, damn near. But with this project, with Philip project, I think it was definitely a good project. One of my favorite projects from Philip. I've heard growth in him. You know, and for me, compared to like previous projects I've heard from Philip, I feel like this is one where I feel like he, outside of him doing the Hennessy Give You Wing freestyles, I feel like that's Philip. But I feel like most people that's in this area, this, you know, that's in the Sanford area, I ain't gonna say this area because, you know, we got a wider audience than that, but people that are in the Lee County area that have watched Philip grow over the years. I've been in rooms and I've heard, if not 85 to 95% of them all say at some point in time that Philip was some type of replica of J. Cole. I think it played into his image. I think it also played into, you know, some of the music that he's made. And I feel like the Hennessy Give You Wings thing kind of pushed him out. But I feel like, if anything, this project definitely, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like I definitely just hear him. And I hear a lot of growth, you know, in him. I think out of this project compared to any of the projects, I think this project had the best feature. I think Waveland Jet on this.
Let's take 30 seconds to talk about that verse from Waveland Jetty. Honestly, I think he out-rapped Felipe. I feel he out-rapped Felipe on that particular song. That verse.
I think that was out of all the projects. Whoa. If I had to go back and pick any feature,
absolutely.
In all the projects we listened to, 13 projects, that was the best feature, hands down.
Hands down. Hands down. That was not even my top track, and like my song of the year comes off of this album. And I honestly, in listening for like a third time, and when I came across that, just the way they go back and forth, it almost made me change my selection on what my song of the year was. But now that I have my notes in front of me, what made this project to stand out for me is the album is the most complete because of the interludes. I think the
Yeah.
one thing that a lot that separates artists from creating mixtapes and albums is interludes. So I'll shout out Deezy on this because he had a bunch of interludes on the I think it was the I Know Grandma's Watching project, if I'm right. And that's what kind of tied it together. So there's an interlude, and I think it's Felipe's parents. Excuse me for calling him by his government name. It's an interlude with Felipe's parents that comes on before the last record, Still the World Turns. And just hearing that conversation with him and his parents, and then going into the song, and just to me that's like the Drake Champagne Poppy or the Jack Harlow record, like his delivery and just mind blowing for me.
It definitely different things about this project gave me Drake vibes too, but it definitely was, you know, a dope project. Like I listened to this, I could see myself listening to this, you know what I'm saying, months on end. And I've actually even, like, talked to Philip and, you know, shouted him out about this project personally, you know, to him, and let him know like this project is definitely, you know, a dope project.
Yeah, and not just, I just want to say this on air. We have not spoken with any of these artists.
No.
We listened to your music, and then the three of us critiqued it. We didn't reach out to any of y'all.
Yeah.
Regardless that y'all, we have access to you. We didn't reach out to none of y'all, and that's what this is solely about: respect and honoring you at your craft. The same way Billboard or BET or VH1 or whoever, Revolt, whoever, we are solely doing the same thing, but we're in the city where you come from. That's it. Yay, it's on you.
Man, listen. He got that one song, and I watched the damn TikTok 25, 30 times.
Which one? The he has a
It's
bunch
a sample. It's a sample.
Lights and cameras.
Lights and cameras.
Shout out to Erykah Badu.
Yeah. Bruh, listen. That's one right there.
I think that's another
Look
record.
at
Like,
how many views he got on there.
I mean, he was. I saw that. I think he was over 500,000 on that one particular.
It's not
reel.
even. It's not even the fact that it's getting the views. It's the fact that that's gonna give it traction.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what you said you said it. You said about him stepping out of that, where people can say he sounds like J. Cole mode.
I mean, he even spoke to that on
He
this
spoke
project.
on the record, on the Still the World
Yeah,
Turns. He said,
he
F
spoke
your
to that.
opinions
Yeah.
and who you comparing me to.
Right.
But it's because he knows, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
We asked him this question on camera. He reposted that interview on his Instagram. Matter of fact.
You know, but yeah, he definitely spoke to that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this is a project that I seen and heard growth in him, and he is one of the polished rappers, you know, from the city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He is the rapper, in my opinion, that gets the most respect and recognition as a rapper from.
I do not disagree.
The city.
I do not disagree.
He get more than he think he do, though.
Yeah, he definitely gets more than he think he does.
I don't think
but
he feel like he gets to what he deserves.
He gets that over
any
everybody else. They getting those, you know what I'm saying? You got your W-2 forms back for rapping yet? You know what I'm saying? I don't think Philip gets that. You know, Philip has the respect of being a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know.
Right,
so.
he gets that. He gets my respect for the project. I listened to it 5 times.
Oh yeah,
But
it's
song,
one of those.
That song,
Lights and Camera is definitely on my personal playlist. Like, but I've been listening to that one for a year. He dropped that single, I think last year. But nah, definitely a major hit. And I think that's a good segue to the next artist. With you saying that we don't think that Felipe gets the respect that he should get. So the next artist definitely does not get the respect that he should get because of what he does in his music, and that is KHB Kai. So for me, KHB Kai is high on my list because out of all of the artists we are mentioning, he is the most involved in his music. He is the only Kanye West on this list. And by that I mean he is writing his music, he is writing his bars, he is producing his music, He is engineering his music. It is 100% Kai. We cannot overlook that, right? He has his own sound, right? It might be influenced by the Uzi Verts or the Kodak Blacks or whatever, but it's his sound. It's been his sound since like 2015, 2016, right? And same thing, the growth. We've seen the maturity level. We've seen the subject matter change in this music over the years. So again, like, yeah, awesome project from Kai. Travis Scott. That was the other comparison. I hear a lot of the Travis Scott influence in the way that he does his bars and some of his structure. But definitely think Kai deserves way more recognition than he gets. Cash, on you.
I think overall the Kai definitely deserves more recognition. He is probably like, all the way around one of the dopest artists, from the city. For all the things that he does do, I think it's still areas that he does need overall growth in, and I don't think it comes to with his production. I think a lot of that goes into necessarily maybe performing or being outside and being active.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think when I listen to Kai's project, and honestly, just outside of looking at like his talents and where I see him overall on like the artist rank, his project was honestly one of my least favorite out of the list. And the only reason I say that is because with some of like the I say rave music, you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think like, it was, for me. And I had to, the first time I listened to the project, I had to actually cut it off and come back and listen to it again because I was, multitasking while listening to it. But it got to where everything just sounded jumbled up to me. And it was just like, hold on. Let me turn it off.
I don't disagree with that. I will just not to cut you off, but I would say for me that was more of the mixing and like the effects that he chose to use on like his ad libs. I think if he would have tucked that in the background just a little bit and allowed his main vocals to stand out, then it might have felt a little different. But I don't disagree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I definitely think it was a lot of whoos and yeahs, in there, and it's like, for me, it wasn't, one of my favorite. If I was looking at, overall, the placements of where I see the project that he produced on, this album where it could go, I could see him doing performances for colleges, and
absolutely,
like, it's a rapper that I actually worked with last year, Deezy Gold. I had basically was out at Georgia State with him, and I did like some videography work. The video's actually up on my IG. And he had these kids going crazy, and it's like Kai, I think, falls in the same bracket with a Deezy Gold, but I actually see more potential in Kai for all of the things that he does do. It's just about now like putting some of it in motion. You know what I'm saying? For the crowd demographic who it's for, and I think college age kids, white kids, and like the kids is just like in that type of, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to name no type of, drug or anything, but I just think that that's that vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the vibe that project gives off to me.
I don't disagree. Yay.
I listened to it 2 times.
Uh-oh.
I'll tell you why. Because he said it. It started with the woos and the yells, and it started to sound the same, but see, to speak back to what you were saying, he owned that and he make that his style. That's a part of him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that you're gonna get that with him. It's influenced by other artists that do that, but he does it his way. So like, it's not to say it's a bad project. It just everything I couldn't separate it enough.
That makes sense.
That's really what it was. I couldn't separate it enough. But like to speak to everything, that the production and the engineering and everything, you can hear each project that he does. You can hear him getting to that level where, like, I told him at one point, I said, bro, why ain't nobody else working with you in the studio? Like, why aren't you engineering and doing beats?
That's a good question for the artist.
Artists?
Why aren't y'all working with KHB Kai? The dude has been producing for a long time.
I honestly feel like
he's from a musical family.
Yeah.
I don't think that is you know what I'm saying. I've seen it stated, you know what I'm saying, and they posted about it, but I don't think it's pushed out there enough. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
Like, you know, if only way somebody's really gonna know that you really, really, you know, do something is if
you have to promote it. No, I don't disagree with that.
Push it out there. And then sometimes it's also with collabing. Like, yeah, you know, Kai does make his own beats, but it's like when you think about like Teezy's or your Skinny Chris's or Scarness, these are guys that are more notable for making beats. So it's like you might have to get your name out there, come and collab with one of these guys, and you know what I'm saying, and co-produce a beat, whether it's a project that he works on or it's a beat that y'all can get out to somebody else. I think, you know, he's just been in that lane of people look at him as the artist. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like, you know, you can push it all. Like, I think, like, with me, I think I stepped back from being an artist because I didn't know how to do the artist, and be the promoter, and the content person.
You had
all
to wear
at the
too
same
many
time.
hats, yeah.
And I think now I'm coming into where, okay, I know how to kind of blend them together. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that what Kai has to learn, you know what I'm saying, with wearing all the hats that he wears, because he, like I said, he's an engineer. That's a whole thing separate from being a producer.
Right.
Artist is separate from being either one of those. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can use those things that are very valuable and get yourself out there, because he's the youngest person on this list.
Yep.
Shout out for that as well. So he has he can have the greatest impact for that one reason alone, because he is the youngest.
You know. So I think it's just definitely get out there and network, you know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to leave the city, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
absolutely.
Don't be afraid to leave the city. Go and you got the projects out now. Everybody that's on this list, you know what I'm saying, y'all should be performing. Going to 2024, if y'all aren't somewhere performing, then y'all really don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't even need to make another project. Push the music that you got now and get this out there.
Push the music that you already have out there. Work the craft. Absolutely. All right, we got 3 projects remaining, and we need to fly through this. And not to discredit these last 3 artists, we've had some great conversation on these projects, but maybe a little bit too extensive. So let's make it through these last 3. Young Block, BNE. For me, definitely very lyric heavy. The sound reminds me of classic New York. If I had to compare it to somebody today, I would say it reminds me of the Griselda camp. So Conway and Benny the Butcher. For me, this gave me the least. I didn't like the feature. There was a feature on this album. I didn't like the feature on the Young Black album, and it's simply because of the subject matter. Nothing else. Not a fan of the subject matter, but for that particular track, it did make sense. It did make sense. So, but again, lyrically, like, he is definitely one of, I'd say, top 3, top 5. The project was complete. The sound, you know, no real super heavy negative remarks. I put it, you know, midway on my replay value, simply because you got to be in that mindset to kind of listen to the gangster music or the hardcore New York type sound, or even the conscious music. Like, you got to be in that space to when you really want to be in that vibe. So shout out to Young Block. Yay.
He had one of the other songs that was like, I'm gonna say it's kind of like We Up Now. Zion Williamson song, I heard that
Now
song
that hook, yes.
a whole bunch of times.
Yes, that hook. You want to play that one? That hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he had so much energy in it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he always is very expressive.
Yes.
He's very expressive.
Nah, you good. Yeah, I remember the punchline. I'm dunking on you like I'm Mount Zion or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. He had a bar. He said something. Tell him, show him you Uncle Willie's son.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can't take nothing away from that project, but like, if I was gonna give him like any like serious critique, it would be like he rhymed like he had a chip on his shoulder, but it was like, you can rhyme like that, you can be that artist,
right?
But you actually have to be able to control it, because when people hear it, then it's like, damn. Kind of like you was talking about how hard Shawndell was.
Right.
Well, you can hear the chip on his shoulder, and it's like, oh. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, damn. After you done got to the end of the album, you know.
You're literally on minimum wage.
This is another thing, too. Make sure you actually pay for the YouTube Music Premium so you can get around those ads. This just goes back to your marketing. This just goes back to your marketing. We're gonna keep it all the way real. We on site. Everybody gets the same treatment. Join the catchy.
Willie's son.
Yeah, you can see you very lyrical heavy. Like you hear the bars, you see the chip, you hear the chip, you hear that New York influence. Like, all right, cut it. Cause he the best one.
Rapping ass chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he's another one. Yeah,
bro. Like, look, that energy, that chip. If you can get that mold and control and put in the. Ain't nobody like really like. It's a few cats on this list, but it's gonna be very few that can really mess with him if he put together a project.
Right.
That got the harness on it. You know what I'm saying? Where the project got control to it, he'll make some damage done for real.
Cash.
I think this was the most lyrical project.
Okay.
Out of all of them, I think that definitely was bar punchline heavy. For me, because I'm a hip hop head, you know what I'm saying. This was like, I think like. Kind of, this had a decent replay value for me. I do think that when you're, I don't like, sort of Griselda tip type rap, you know what I'm saying, very hip hop, New York vibe. I ain't making say New York vibe because even though we know that's a birthplace of hip hop, I just think now whenever you get guys that rap like this, is just traditional hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's very traditional hip hop, and I think that you got people that want to hear that type of rap style. It's just about also being consistent. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Being outside and making the moves and being in the right rooms that you need to be in, because I think that the rap like this is on the rise and it's coming back. But definitely dope project. It was, one of my favorite. I rock with it. Shout out to Block.
Shout out to Block. All right, Gladiator Flex. For me, this was the unexpected record. I have been around Flex for a long time. Was that the buzzer saying we are out of time?
Yeah, that's the
we are out of time. So with that, I'm just gonna say Flex was definitely the sleeper record for me. Definitely enjoyed this project. The name of the project is The Art of Flex, and for me, that's what I got from it. Like the versatility in every record. I don't know if it always works, but again, it wasn't like a one-dimensional sound. We definitely had layers to this project. Wasn't expecting. I'm not gonna call it a quote unquote Christian or gospel record, but the inspirational record and him talking about his take on religion. For me, that was big. You don't always get that in hip hop, especially you got a club track that precedes it, and then you get some spirituality behind it. I thoroughly enjoyed the project. So, real quick before you go.
Yeah, depression.
Facts.
That's all. That's
Facts.
all I got to say.
Who else got a COVID record?
Right. Like
Facts.
When you can actually do that, you show
Facts.
that you got range.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if we was looking at the artist that stood out, that might have not been the one who got the heaviest compliments, I'm just gonna say like he stands out, and I think it's the reason he got that camera in his hand. And it's easy to forget that he's an artist because he got that camera in his hand.
Facts.
That's what you see him as doing. Because I forgot.
Facts.
And then I was like, hold on. Flex dropped the project.
You know
and
I mean? he shot and directed that video as well. So that's like something I haven't even done. So big up to him for being able to fully produce and well, not produce, but to direct, produce the visual, produce the music. Like, yeah, shout out to him for that, Cash.
Definitely, Flex was one of those guys that is definitely dope. And because he's behind the camera, you can easily forget that. You know what I'm saying? He's an artist as well. I definitely, liked the project. It was a project that had a high replay value for me as well.
Yes.
I think it definitely, was, one of the ones that, I guess, snuck up on me, caught me by surprise because
Yes.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yes.
But I think Flex has always been very creative, you know what I'm saying? And I think he puts a lot of thought into his music from what I've seen from him when he does like a project. So I haven't seen nothing from Flex I haven't actually liked yet. So definitely shout out to Flex.
All right, yeah. And
Schizo.
The Schizo project was like run of the mill for me, and I think the only disappointing moment is he has a track. He did. It's common that sometimes we rap over the same beat, but he has a track, and to me, he didn't kill it. What he did on the song, and now to his credit, he released the project, or he released that record a month before a gospel artist released the same record, and the gospel artist killed it. But not to say that, like, yeah,
a gospel artist.
A gospel artist. We ain't even gonna go to who the artist is, but I'll tell you offline.
Yeah, we need to drop those links in the description.
Yeah, I will play this record from the gospel artist, and he rapped, and he smacked on this song, and it just, to me, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I heard the gospel record before I heard Schizo's version of the record. I really tried to downplay that show, but the overall energy, I feel like, he definitely has versatility. I like the singing, and his subject matter is relevant. It wasn't too left field. It's not super trap heavy, super, negative perspective heavy. He definitely tried some things, and just he stepped outside of the comfort zone to be creative. I think that worked for him. But again, I probably am being a little bit biased because just
another track.
Yeah, you didn't kill it. He didn't kill it for me.
For me, I see growth in Schizo with this project. This is actually one of my more likable projects by Schizo. I can't necessarily give any standout track, at this moment. But I will say that this is a track that, what I'm saying, while like I'm chilling, with like, my lady friend or whatnot, I throw this on and let this rock in the background, you know what I'm saying? And it's just good, you know what I'm saying? If I have a kickback or something, I'll let this whole project rock out in the back, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a vibe. So definitely shout out Schizo on this project.
Dope. And then we got one more. King Playboy L. Okay. I think dude can rap. I think we need to be more creative in our subject matter. And every song is not, I'm going to go cut the mic on, I'm going to rap, and then that's my song. I think if we come back to the table and actually do a reference, have an idea, do a reference, and then come back and break down my bars and my reference, I'll create a much better song and maybe an overall better project. But I definitely think dude has a lot of talent that, like Ye said about some artists, if we kind of harness that talent and give it and point it in a specific direction, then it could exponentially take off and do incredible things.
Well, Playboy L project, I seen growth for him as an artist. I think with the quality, and how everything is, the production put together, I've definitely seen growth from like the previous projects that I've seen or heard from him. One of the things that, like I was speaking, I guess some of the same things that you're speaking to, with is some certain like repetitiveness and some of his music, that if he really gets the right person or works with the right, people with his music, that he actually can take off to a different level, because I feel like he has certain elements that the other artist doesn't have.
Yes.
He's very consistent with social media. I
definitely think he has a unique voice.
And that one thing that I would speak to, that was while we were reviewing these projects, this was a project that I actually forgot and I almost actually omitted, because whenever I was looking up Playboy L, I wasn't finding this project. And
he changed the name.
He added King to his name, and I feel like whenever you do that and you haven't necessarily got to a certain plateau, I think it's like now you got your music split. Now you got music under King, Playboy L, and Playboy L, right. And are people searching both? Right. Because me searching Playboy L, nothing from King, Playboy L did not come up.
Right.
So I think it goes into like branding and marketing, and then it's just like when is it necessarily time to change your name? And if you change your name, are you doing a whole complete branding from the artist you were previously? If not, then why are you changing your name?
Great perspective. Yay.
Okay, I'm gonna say this because I'm very biased when it comes to you was talking about it earlier, the off
time and flow, yeah.
I don't like it, but for the artists that do it and they can pull it off, I like what they're doing. So I can speak to that. And so, like, listening to him, I like the fact that he inject motivation in his music. Like if you listen long enough, he giving you a motivational speech.
Yeah.
In song form.
I can see that.
You giving that in song form.
I can see that.
And then he putting the energy behind it.
Definitely has the energy.
At first, the energy was annoying. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it was like, man.
No, the energy is definitely there.
You know, like when you got kids and they hopping around and they doing too much, you like, sit down.
Yeah.
That's how I felt at first until I put my hat on. I was like, okay, boom. I had to go in the mode where I was listening to the music. And that's what he's doing with the hooks. He's getting you excited and energy. And then he comes back with the verse and he's speaking. It ain't even about bars. It's all about motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to his stuff, and then he's got some pain stuff in there. I do think that he got a lot of room for growth.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As far as putting together songs,
Definitely.
and
I think
projects.
delivery.
You know what I'm saying?
I think delivery is one of the main things that that he should work on. I ain't even gonna say delivery because it's like in his way he raps now.
Yeah.
He delivers in that
Yeah.
what you call it. But I just think it just might be something to add. He needs to add some things and take some things away from his rap style to really kick that door open.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.